All right. And we are live. Let's wait for it to actually show up on screen. Okay, so it's been a while. Haven't done anything for the channel in quite some time. There's not really a good excuse other than had a hard time getting more guests for the Dads at Gaming series. I had one person who was lined up, but they just didn't end up working out. We didn't really have much chance to work on that, so yeah, I just haven't really done anything with it. Apart from that, it's mostly just a matter of not really wanting to take the time to put stuff together. But I'm going to try streaming a little bit here and there. I don't know how much it's actually going to happen. It's not going to be a regular thing necessarily. I mean, it'll probably be 2-3 times a week, at least for now. I'll probably end up talking about various gaming topics as I'm streaming just because it's a good outlet. I may from time to time play with other people. At least for now, at least when I'm playing this game, I'm going to have to play with a controller because my keyboard is way too loud. And my microphone just picks up every last little bit, every last little sound that it makes. So I have a blue switch mechanical keyboard. And so I was trying to play this game with the mechanical keyboard, and it's just, you hear the clacking constantly, like if you listen to it. Yeah, it gets kind of ridiculous, and so it just made a little more sense for me to go with an Xbox controller. Initially, the main reason I had switched over to using mouse and keyboard was because of the fact that the last action game I had played was Ghost of Tsushima, and it controls very differently from Assassin's Creed, or at least from from this one in Origins. And so I was trying to play with a mouse because it was just, my muscle memory was screwing me up on the attacks, because Ghost of Tsushima uses R1 and R1 and R2. Or no, I'm sorry. Assassin's Creed uses R1 and R2. Ghost of Tsushima uses triangle and square for attacks. And so I was, parrying attacks and then automatically going for triangle, and it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, so I just kept messing up, and I tried flipping the controls around and stuff, but because there's a couple more functions in Assassin's Creed than there is in Ghost of Tsushima, I couldn't really do a one-to-one conversion. So anyway, so for now I'm gonna play some Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm planning to just basically play this tonight, and in the future I may play some Destiny 2. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do with that because I always play mouse and keyboard, and like I said, my keyboard's very loud, so if anything I might have to mute my microphone in order to make that work. Either that or at least mute it in OBS. I might be able to figure out a way that I can just kind of like unmute myself anytime I need to say something, but the problem with that, of course, is that then you'll get the clacks of my keyboard in the audio as well. So I don't really know how all that's going to work yet. But I will say also, I am going to be doing an extra live stream. I'm not sure when exactly. It's going to be either October or November. It is probably going to be before the new Destiny 2 expansion comes out, simply because I kind of don't really want to spend as much time on that initially. I just kind of want to have a little more freedom with it, and or at least feel like I have more freedom to play other games. Because once that launches, that's probably all I'm going to be playing for the most part. As I'm not really all that interested in most of the other new releases. And so it's just, I don't know. So anyway, obviously talking and playing at the same time sometimes can be difficult, but I am already finding that I feel more like muscle memory is returning for this game, as the last game I really played heavily with an Xbox controller was Assassin's Creed Origins, and, you know, they control exactly the same, the two games, so, yeah, I think it definitely has helped switching over to the Xbox controller. So other things that I want to talk about, as far as other games I've been playing, I just finished up Shadow of the Tomb Raider on PC, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think that I'm not really sure why exactly it got hate, because honestly I didn't really look into it. I wanted to go into the game blind and just form my own opinions, because there have definitely been many times in the past where people have given pretty negative opinions on certain games, and then I played them and thoroughly enjoyed them. So I kind of just make my own decisions based on what I'm interested in playing. And since I really liked the first two of the Tomb Raider reboot games, I figured it made sense to just play Shadow. And when I bought it, I still had a lower-end graphics card. I was still using the GTX 980. So I didn't play it very much back then, even though, I mean, I had upgraded my CPU, and actually, I'll just bring up the specs on my computer right now. So this is my current specs. Initially, I had, like, last November, I upgraded to the i9 CPU, and along with that, I had to upgrade my motherboard and my RAM. And unfortunately, my motherboard was pretty much faulty from the start. The issue it had then was that 2 of the 4 memory slots were not working, so I could only do single channel RAM, and I have 32 gigs of that, by the way. But other than that, I wasn't having too many issues with it. It was just kind of like, okay, occasionally I'd have problems, but for the most part, there was just various other issues I had. I think ultimately most of the issues that I had over the past year, or 8-9 months, whatever it's been, were actually caused primarily by the faulty motherboard. Because I was, the last like 2 months before I replaced it, I was getting crashes frequently. Like, it was really bad and really annoying and really frustrating, and I did a lot of different things with the with everything in order to try to get that working out, but it just wasn't quite working for me. So I might go down to 100%, improve the speed a little bit. Anyway, maybe do 140. Anyway, so I was having some issues with getting it to not crash so much, and I finally just had to replace it. But thankfully, because of the fact that it had been having issues since very early on, and also because of the fact that I knew, because I bought it from my brother-in-law, or my wife's brother-in-law, really, who has a computer business, and he knew about the issues beforehand. He replaced my motherboard for free. So I was able to get a replacement motherboard. I had already upgraded my graphics card shortly before that up to the GTX 2080 Ti, which, of course, I upgraded it 2 months before they revealed the 30 series, and then the 30 series ended up being significantly cheaper than everyone expected, and So the 2080s are going down in price for the most part, but of course the 30 series is also going to be limited in quantities, which means that it's going to be harder for people to get it for the most part, and so it's kind of an interesting situation. But either way, I'm not going to upgrade to a 30 series. So anyway, I upgraded both of those things, and I was able to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider easily. I was running it. I mean, I only run at 1080p and high frame rates. I was getting probably like 70 to 90 frames per second average. I'm sure occasionally I got higher, sometimes it got lower, just because that game is really weird about it. I remember I did the benchmark, and like there was some spots where it was getting like 30, 40 frames per second, and then other spots where it was getting 90 to 100. And so it was weird, but anyway, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I mentioned before I played Ghost of Tsushima. I got that at launch, got the deluxe edition, or special edition, whatever it was. The one that came in the steelbook with some extra stuff included. Nothing physical beyond that, but really, really, really enjoyed that. It was an excellent game. I decided to play on hard mode just because after having played the Infamous games on hard, I felt like I'd get a little bit more out of it playing on hard, so I just went straight for that. I have not done lethal difficulty. I think maybe if I end up playing it again sometime in the future that I will go for lethal difficulty, just because it's, you know, the extra challenge, and I'm kind of curious about how much I can play before I decide to completely rage quit. Hard mode was pretty tough at times. The particular fight that I really had trouble with, that I had to do a ridiculous number of times, was the fight where you get the Heavenly Strike. Lord Chimera should have taught you better. That stab. I heard that line many, many, many times, and the game kept prompting me, do you want to turn down the difficulty? And I said no. Because I wanted to beat it on hard. I wanted to do everything on hard. And as you go further in the game, though, when you get stronger, it's really not that bad. So it's but yeah, really, really excellent game. I also finally got back to Danganronpa 2, which I played on Vita, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. I'm not sure if I like that one or the first one better. I think they're pretty equal. The second one added a couple of little things to the class trials that I kind of had mixed feelings about, but I think as I kind of got my bearings a bit, I started to enjoy it more. But overall, I thought it was a solid game. Oh, speaking of solid, I finally played Metal Gear Solid, the original, on PS1. Specifically, I have the PS1's Classics version, and I played it on my Vita. So, but yeah, that was actually, I'm really glad I finally got to play that, because I really enjoyed it. I mean, definitely times where I had some difficulties with it, more just from the standpoint of not really being familiar enough with how the game works. But overall, I thought it was really solid. And I tried playing 2 a little bit, because I've had 2 and 3. I got the HD collection of that actually before I got the original one, and I wanted to play the first one before I played 2 and 3. And 2, I was having a little trouble just getting used to the difference in controls, so I basically just haven't gone back to that. But apart from that, oh yeah, I also finally got back to Shantae in the Pirate's Curse on 3DS. A friend of mine who I've had both in the podcast, which was, you know, years and years ago, and also had him join me for 1 or 2 other, like, Nintendo Direct prediction discussions, that sort of thing. Ben Stegner. He had gotten me a copy of that game, or rather he had given me, I think he had a review code or something and gave it to me. And so I was able to play that. I mean, I finally got back into that and ended up really enjoying it. It took me a little bit to get into it, mostly just because I kind of had gotten stuck on it. Like, I bought it, or I mean, I started playing it a tiny bit before my daughter was born, which would have been December 2018. And I got to a certain point, and I was, playing other things at the same time, and just never really got back to it, but I decided to pull that out, dust that off, and play some more of that, and ended up enjoying it. And bought the 2 older Shantae games as well, although I haven't really dived into those. But I did decide to jump back into Zelda Oracle of Ages, which I had bought the Game Boy Color Virtual Console thing on 3DS when it first came out. At least I think that's when I got it, back in 2013. But I just never really played very much of it, and that's what I've been playing right now, other than this. Obviously, lots of Destiny 2. I guess, actually, the last time I put up a video, now that I think about it, was, or one of the last ones, apart from the Animal Crossing discussion I did with my wife, was the interview I did with Soder, and I got him into Destiny 2, and he's been playing a bunch with me and other guys in my group. So that's been pretty cool. Otherwise, I'm trying to think here. Right now I'm honestly just kind of aimlessly wandering because I'm talking and playing at the same time, and that screws me up a little bit. Let's see our map. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot else to say, I think. I kind of talked out a bunch of the stuff I've been wanting to talk about. Oh, I guess one thing I should mention for anyone looking at this. The picture up in the top left corner, that's me and my wife, because I do not yet have a webcam. I have one on the way. I'm going to have that when I start streaming more regularly, especially when I do the Extra Life thing. But that's just a placeholder picture, basically. I mostly put it up for a test kind of stream, but I figured, might as well have that up for now until I actually get something more that I can work with. So, there's that. Ah, there we go. There's something to do. But yeah, after I finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I just kind of I was trying to figure out what game to play in my backlog, and since I got this game as a freebie that came along with my new microphone, it was so many months ago. I guess that was early this year. In fact, I think that was before COVID hit, or at least before, lockdown started. But yeah, I just hadn't really touched the game yet, mostly because I can't remember if I was done with Origins at that point or not. I think I probably was, but mostly I just wasn't really ready to devote the time to it, and I decided, after I finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that this is a game I kind of felt like playing. So yeah, as far as the Extra Life thing goes, I will post a link to my Extra Life page. Probably do it in the description of this. If not, I'll make sure to do like a separate thing for this. I'm gonna see if I can maybe try splitting this up into a couple different clips, just because that might help things out a little bit, especially for viewership. But I don't know. Kinda remind me of a duck. Yeah, so, Extra Life, that's what I was talking about. So with Extra Life, I don't know what all games I'm going to be playing. It'll probably be a bit of this, and maybe a couple other games. I was kind of contemplating doing Final Fantasy 15, since I do have that. But if I don't do Final Fantasy, whether I do that one or not, I also have Doom 2016, which, if you remember seeing my interview with Nick Rekieta, that when I used footage from the Switch version, which I did play to completion and thoroughly enjoyed it, of course. But I also got the PC version after the fact, and the PC version obviously looks a lot prettier and runs a lot faster, and is extremely good. But yeah, that's one game I might play. Beyond that, I think probably the evening that the evening of the time that I'm playing, I'm probably gonna try to get my wife to play some Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, as that's one of the multiplayer games I actually have on PC, and that could be fun to play that together. But
I should be careful. High security here.
Beyond that, I don't really know. So anyway, I think I'm going to shut my trap now and just play the game. Yeah. Might help if I remember that dodge is square, not circle. And actually, something that I haven't talked about yet that I might as well at least touch on a little bit is PS5 and Xbox. What's coming with those? So I have to say that I'm not convinced on PS5. I know that there's going to be great games. Spider-Man Miles Morales looks awesome, and so does Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Speaking of which, I did play Ratchet and Clank 3. That was another thing I cleared from my backlog. But the problem is that there are PlayStation games coming to PC, even if they're coming late, and I'm having a hard time getting to a point where I actually feel like it's still worthwhile to keep buying consoles for games that I can get on PC and they'll play better. Now, yes, of course, the PS5's SSD is probably going to be very good. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be like the most advanced SSD currently in existence, and it's going to make a big difference, but there's going to be bottlenecks, and I know that Sony wants to lead you to believe that there's not going to be serious bottlenecks and then it's going to completely revolutionize everything. And it will make changes. I mean, it'll make load times significantly faster. What they showed with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart looked amazing. I mean, how quick, I mean, the fact that it was completely seamless was incredible. But the problem is that there's still going to be bottlenecks, and games like that, because of the other hardware bottlenecks, that's the reason they can't run faster than 30 frames per second. It's why they're running at 30 instead of 60. Now, I'm hoping that maybe games like that, they'll have a performance mode available where you can get 60 frames, and that would be great, because those games should run at 60. They play way better when you're playing at 60 plus. But it's just kind of hard to say exactly how it's going to be. Now with Xbox, as of right now, obviously they've revealed the prices for both the Series X and the Series S. I think those are good prices. I'm still not an Xbox person. I mean, even though I'm using an Xbox controller, it's just because it's more convenient to use a separate controller on PC than to bring my PS4 controller out. But also, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Xbox, there's not really anything that I can play on Xbox that I can't play on PC. And my PC's better, so... I'll always take high frame rates over 4K, and I don't know. It's just I'm not enthusiastic about these consoles. Now, tomorrow is Ps5 Event that's supposed to show some more stuff, get the prices revealed, and probably we'll end up having some good reveals. I mean, I'm hoping that they'll show some really good stuff other than what we've already seen. There's speculation that we could see God of War Ragnarok, which would be really awesome and would definitely tempt me to get a PS5. But I'm still at the same point where I feel like I could wait. I mean, I have such a huge backlog across multiple platforms. I mean, this year I've played almost every console I have, or at least everything before, everything going back to last gen, to Gen 7, with like the Wii and the PS3 and Wii U. I guess I haven't actually played any Wii U games, but I did play Metroid Other M on my Wii U, which I did not mention, and I actually liked that game. It was good. The story wasn't very good, the voice acting was awful, but the gameplay itself was solid, and I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I finally played it. But anyway, so with no shortage of games and all of that, I'm just kind of at a point where I feel like I'm tired of buying games multiple times so that I can play them on multiple platforms. I'd rather just wait, get the PC version, and then play on PC. I can initially play at, higher frame rates and everything else. As I upgrade my hardware, I can play at even better things, and I don't have to keep upgrading. The DualSense controller, that's pretty cool. I didn't really look into all the different features it has, even though it seems like it's primarily just... It's honestly kind of more of another gimmick, kind of like the touchpad was, and it's basically like HD Rumble, and, don't get me wrong, I like HD Rumble. I think it's a great feature, and I'm sure that some of the ways that they're planning to make use of it with, like, the triggers and stuff, is really cool, and I think that it will probably be a neat feature, but once again, it'll still be a gimmick that's ultimately not necessary. It'll just be something that's like, okay, this adds to the experience, this makes it more interesting, but it's just not needed. And that's the hard thing about all of this stuff. I don't know. The other thing is, I just don't have room anymore. I mean, as it is, my apartment is already crammed, and, even without all of my kids' stuff, my apartment is very crammed, and I just feel like I need to stop buying a bunch of new hardware to cram things up even further. So, and just as a quick note, I'm kind of looking over at what the stream is looking like, and I don't think it's not looking quite as smooth as it is on my computer, but that's probably... it says current bitrate is lower than the recommended. I'm probably going to have to mess around with that, but it's probably also because I'm streaming at 1080p 60, so... but at least on my end... Let's see here, what am I getting now on average? Looks like 64 average is what I'm getting, so that's good. At least I'm, getting over 60, and that's mostly what I want for games like this, because open world games just have so much stuff going on. But yeah, so oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't even paying, didn't even notice that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Alright, anyway, so yeah, PS5, not sold on it, not sure I'm gonna buy one. I'm sure that there will be some games that I'm really gonna want to play. And if they bring out, like, another Infamous, another Sly Cooper, especially, you know, things like that, I mean, obviously Ghost of Tsushima, whenever the sequel for that comes out, I really want to play that, but even then, it's a question of whether I'm willing to just wait, and I'm leaning more towards, yeah, I could probably just wait and play something else while I'm waiting, and I'm hoping that as time goes on, the window between when PS4 or when PS5 games release and when they come to PC will get shorter and shorter. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's ever going to be day and date, same thing. But I could see it being six months to a year, potentially somewhere down the line. And if that happens, I'll definitely wait, because it's just not worth it to me to buy the hardware anymore. So. I know this is the most exciting gameplay right now because I'm spending so much time talking that I'm getting distracted, which is why most of the time, or not most of the time, every time that I've done videos in the past, it's always been I record the gameplay, and then I record the audio, and then I add the audio to the gameplay.
Tiny boat. Let's try not to piss Poseidon off, shall we?
Let's see here. Where was I going again? I don't even remember. Map. I don't even think I had a destination, did I? Oh, quests. That might help. Penelope Shroud. Let's track that. There we go. Okay. Why is it showing... Oh, I guess I must have already just completed the location. Maybe I just forgot to grab a quest item or something. I don't know. And if anybody is wondering, since obviously I also am a big fan of Nintendo, and I haven't said I'm going to stop buying Nintendo stuff, what would convince me to stop buying Nintendo is if Nintendo released their games on PC and stopped making portable devices. If their next device is not a Switch-like device, and then they decide to start putting their games on PC as well, then I would stop buying Nintendo and I would just buy everything on PC. And then I'd use my Switch Pro controller to play the Nintendo games. But since I don't think any of those things are likely to happen, it should be fine. Nintendo likes to do their own thing. They're not really interested in doing another hardcore box like they used to do. They just want to keep doing their own thing, and I'm okay with underpowered hardware if it's portable. Because it being portable makes a massive difference. It gives me a reason to buy an inferior version. It's the only reason.
Alexios, good news, I hope.
Safe and sound.
Well done. And now the shroud is yours.
You don't want it? After all that?
I gained something more valuable today. For your troubles, Misthios.
If I knew any better, I'd think you were testing me.
Perhaps. You did well, Misthios. Tell me, how do you feel about killing a general in Megaris? Do this for me and earn double what you earned today. Are you up to the task? It would take you far away from Kefalonia. So far away you might never return.
I'm not an assassin.
There's a first time for everything. What do you say?
Say, excuse me. My wife will get that joke. It's not really a joke. Reference. She'll understand the reference.
Who is this general?
They call him the Wolf.
He do something to offend you?
Yes, he's costing me drachmi. He's not good for business.
Anything I should know about Megaris?
Only that it's the most valuable land in the Greek world. From a military perspective, of course. Unfortunately for Megarians, it has two very powerful neighbors who just can't seem to play nice. In the tug-of-war between Corinth and Athens, Megaris is their own.
Why me?
Because no one knows who you are. You're invisible.
I accept.
Splendid. You'll need a boat. You have one, don't you?
If I had a boat, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
A shame. It's too far of a swim, I'm afraid. Even for you.
I'll find one.
Good. I hope it's sturdy.
And why is that?
The seas are much more dangerous, I'm afraid. War is coming, and the wolf is on the wrong side.
You won't be disappointed.
When your job in Megaris is done, come find me at Pilgrim's Landing in Phokis.
Well, something else I haven't talked about yet. Like I said, I'm just going to be talking about random stuff in these streams, so that's the way it is. Make it a little bit more interesting. The Super Mario 3D Collection, the 3D All-Stars, yes. I am getting that. I don't know if my copy is arriving on Friday or not. It mostly depends on whether or not Best Buy ships it from Anchorage. If they ship it from Anchorage, I should be getting it Friday. If they ship it from somewhere in the lower 48, then I have no idea when it will arrive. But, oh, level 8. Nice. Oh, and a level... More spear. Maybe we'll try that. Oh, actually, never mind. I'm not good with spears. We'll go with the sword for now. Stick with that. And... but yeah, anyway, the... As far as things go with the 3D collection, I'm actually perfectly happy with it. I recognize that it's basically the games are emulated, and I understand people's frustration. I also definitely understand the frustration about it only being available for 6 months, but I guess I'm just not someone who is bothered that much by it. I mean, like, I do understand where people are coming from. I really do. But for me, it's just kind of like, okay, if I want to play it, I'll play it. I mean, if I want to get it, I'll get it. And if I don't like the business practice, I will buy something.
I need a boat. I should go see the shipbuilder.
Just keep it that simple. But I've never actually finished Super Mario 64, even though I still have it both on Wii U and N64. Oh, message board, that's what that is, okay. But and then I've never played much of Sunshine at all. And same goes with Galaxy. Actually, I haven't played any of Galaxy. So it's 3 games I don't have, or I should say 2 games I don't have. 1 game that I have, but I've never completed, and the Switch will be the most convenient way to play it. So I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be fun. Since I've knocked out some backlog games, I feel more like it's okay for me to be starting up some new things, and I mean, I'm just going to be starting with Super Mario 64 until I complete that, and then when I finish that, then I'll probably try out Sunshine and eventually Galaxy. Oh, I did really like, whatchamacallit? Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That was very good. I definitely would have to say that
Let me know if you need
the, I didn't get very far in Future Connected, mostly just because by that point I felt a little burnt out on it. I was just kind of ready to play something else. But yeah, it was great. The quest tracking alone made a huge difference in that game. Made it significantly better than the 3DS version, which is where I played it before. Okay, so let's see here. I need to go that way.
It's a fine ship, Telemenes.
Alexios! She is that. Ready to ride the waves for the right captain and the right price.
What will it take for you to part with her?
Couldn't let her go for less than 100,000.
100,000? Who has that much?
Someone who's serious about buying a ship. You think craftsmanship like this is given away?
What if I told you I had obsidian to trade?
I tell you I still need 100,000 drachmi. Besides, even if I took your obsidian, a ship this size needs an army to sail it.
This is Kefalonia. I could always find someone down on their luck and willing to work for next to nothing to get off this island.
The seas are treacherous now. Well, more than usual. It would be suicide.
You're not being very helpful, Telemenes.
Not sure if this helps, but rumor has it the Cyclops is coming for you and Marcos.
Malaka. How is that helpful?
That monster's held Kefalonia captive for too long. I figure if anyone could finally rid us of his stench, it would be you.
Telemenes, what does this have to do with my need for a boat?
Rumor also has it the Cyclops has docked his ship in Kleptus Bay.
His ship, you say? I'll have to pay Kleptus Bay a visit.
Be careful. That one-eyed brute has a nasty temper.
So I can take his ship and deal with the Cyclops at the same time. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Quests. Maybe I'll do that first.
I don't want to be spotted here.
Ah, here we go. There's a wolf. Beautiful. I'll progress further in the story, okay. What do we got here? Requires level 15, alright. Level 20. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this one. Sweet. Hold left trigger and B. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right.
Darkness, ever my friend.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello, bacon, my old friend. Probably the one thing I do not like about playing a guy is I do not like seeing his underwear. It's like, no thank you. Maybe I'll be able to find some pants later on. Who knows? I kind of doubt it because I don't think they wear more pants in these days, but if I find them, I will wear them.
I should have known it was you who'd ask for the furs, Ilos.
And I should have known it was you to get them for me. Alexios is always on the job.
Don't tell Marcos. He'll get jealous.
I posted publicly to give the others a chance, but you're always so keen.
What are the pelts for this time?
The Athenians want armor for the war. Good protection for them. Good drachmi for me.
Here they are, all accounted for.
In record time, too. Take your pay, it's well earned.
Stay out of trouble, Ilos.
You should take your own advice.
You should take your own advice. Okay, what about... Can I get armor here? There we go. Yeah, there's some armor. We got the Spartan helmet. Crafting materials. Oh, that's right. I was looking for pants. They don't have pants. No pants. Oh well. It was worth a shot.
I'll see you soon.
Oh, that could be useful. Dock to the center of Pranoi Peninsula. Okay, so it's probably like over here. Yep, there we go.
The Cyclops. Time to have a little chat.
I should try to stay out of sight.
That was not what I meant to do.
Best stay out of sight.
The gods as my witness, I swear!
Which one?
What difference does it make? All of them, I swear, all of them!
I have never heard so much fucking god talk from one man in all my days.
Let him go.
No one on this island is allowed to say that word!
Did he say Cyclops? Did it hurt your feelings?
Don't like it when people call me that!
Oh, I didn't.
But you're so fat. I mean, big, strong. You really do only have one eye.
My eye. Give it to me. Give it to me and I won't kill Marcos for having you steal it! Give it to me!
You want it?
Wow.
Go get it.
Come on, why are you not climbing? Take a little bit to get used to this combat again. Ah, dang it.
I should stay hidden if I don't want to fight.
Now, let's see if it skips the cutscene this time. I think it might. No. So I gotta do it manually.
Oh, the gods as my witness, I swear!
Just die! I'll get you! Stop! Now,
Oh, that's not cool.
you're dead meat! I will kill you! The ferryman is coming for you. It'll soon be over. Got ants on your side, but not for long. Sure, this is too easy. Everyone, charge! You fight. I didn't expect to win this easily.
I guess that works.
We shouldn't delay here any further. Even rats like these have friends on Kefalonia.
By Zeus, these Kefalonian bandits are no joke. Good thing you're on my side. They really seem to fear you. I can't thank you enough. After spending most of my life at sea, it would have been absolutely shameful to drown in a pot. Ah, where are my manners? I am Varnavas, captain of the Adrestia.
Well, Varnavas, pleased to meet you. I'm Alexios, Mistios by trade.
Oh, but you're much more than that, I'm sure.
What do you mean?
When they forced my head underwater, I prayed to the gods. And when they pulled it out, there you were.
You called, and I answered.
Many claim to have blood of the gods in their veins. You're the first I actually believe.
Where do you come from?
Everywhere, nowhere. The Adrestia is my home. But I was born in an olive grove in Mykonos. I haven't stepped foot there since I left for the military.
So you're a soldier?
I was. My brothers and I were captains in the Athenian fleet. Until one night during a siege, Poseidon's fury destroyed our ships. That was the night I saw it.
It? What did you see?
The sea god commands more than just the winds and the waves when he truly unleashes his temper. I saw his beast, his murderous pet. Few believe me, but this dead eye is a permanent reminder. Punishment for looking on Poseidon's forbidden creature and living to tell the tale.
So why were those men attacking you?
Oh, you know the people here. No offense. I tell them a tale of my last voyage, and the next thing I know, they're acting like a bunch of savages.
What tale could you tell that would make them so angry?
My last voyage, we found a man floating alone on a raft. Before he passed, he told us a tale to make your blood run cold. Something about a horrifying creature, ugly beyond description. I mentioned the words, one-eyed monster. Next thing I know, I'm drowning in a clay pot.
Yes, the Cyclops tends to take that personally. So you have a ship?
Of course. Gods forbid I'd end up stuck in this place.
Where is it now?
Thanks to you, it's still in Sami Harbor, where I left it.
Perhaps the fates brought us together after all. I'm in need of a ship and a crew.
You saved my life. It would disgust the gods to not offer it in return.
So that's a yes?
My ship, my crew, and my services are yours.
You truly aren't from around here.
Ha ha! Gods know! And I thank them for that! Come now and see the Adrestia!
Gotta say, one thing that I've definitely noticed about this game, I mean, obviously it looks better than Horizon because it's newer, but also just the expressiveness, the body language that the characters have when they're talking is much better, because it was just kind of like really, really basic in Horizon and various other games. I mean, Horizon was better than some previous games and all that, but definitely feel like it's really good in this game. Can't quite remember how it was in Assassin's Creed Origins, though. I think that would probably be a better thing to compare it to, but I'd have to look at some footage. I think most of the footage I have, though, is probably just
They'll be watching for me. I need to be careful.
oh, the just exploration gameplay rather than story. I think after this quest, though, I'm probably going to call it good for the night.
We are ready when you are, Captain.
Wait! Wait for me, Alexios. I'm all packed and everything.
You're coming, are you?
If you're going, I'm going.
Kefalonia is the only place you've ever known. You'd leave your home.
I would if it meant staying with you.
You can't go where I'm going. I need to be alone.
Who's going to keep you company?
I'll be fine.
If I can't come, then take Hara.
Hara?
My pet eagle. She's my friend. Mater gave her to me. But she'll be your friend now. And it'll be like I'm there with you. You know? To remind you of me.
Thanks, Phoebe.
Besides, I love Kina to play with. Since you saved her.
Go easy on her. She may still be shaky with...
This is kind of a random thought I just wanted to point out. Since I took Koine Greek in college for, I mean, it's the language, the version of Greek that was used to write the New Testament. Mater is the Greek word for mother. Obviously, I mean, you could pretty much figure that out based on context. But my Greek professor, first year, made the statement, Mater is feminine. Most mothers are. I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
Fever.
But you have to promise we'll see each other again.
I promise. You haven't seen the last of me. Just stay out of trouble until then.
I will. Don't worry. Okay, you can leave now.
Alexios! Leaving Kefalonia without saying goodbye to your dear Marcos? Tell me it isn't true.
Well, you're here now, so it won't be true. Goodbye, Marcos.
Good
All
riddance.
these years as a dynamic duo! I'll never replace you. Well, I may need another assistant someday, but
He
it
just
won't be
reminds
easy.
me of
Come now.
Roman from Grand Theft Auto 4. Hey, cousin, you want to go bowling?
Partners shake hands.
The true sign of a man in business.
And what does the future hold for you?
Wine, of course. Though you never know when the vines will wither. I'm always ready for another adventure. Speaking of adventure, I have a task for you, dear Phoebe.
An adventure? Yes!
Already following in your footsteps, isn't she, my friend?
Ready to set sail?
Prepare to cast off.
It's time to leave.
Good! The tides wait for neither man nor woman.
Time to go.
Alright. I don't know. I think the mission has a little bit further to go, but I'm not
So,
sure how this
what
works.
course do we set? Where in this big, beautiful world does the mighty Alexios want to go?
Megaris.
Megaris? But we'll be sailing into war.
I got a contract for some general's head.
Whose head?
They call him the Wolf.
The Wolf? Who wants Nikolaos of Sparta dead?
Nikolaos of Sparta.
The Oracle has spoken! To prevent Sparta's fall, the child must fall first.
You can't let this happen! Please, she'll do no harm. She'll help us. She will lead us!
Silence!
Stop! No! You can't! No! He has
Toss him over!
Pay for his dishonor, for the life he has snuffed. He is no Spartan, Nikolaos. Don't listen, Nikolaos. Don't listen. No. No. Don't listen, Nikolaos. Why?
Father!
Nikolaos! Stop! Nikolaos! No! Nikolaos! Nikolaos, look at me! Look at me, Nikolaos! Don't! Don't listen! Your blood is tainted! Rid yourself of this poison!
Father!
For Sparta!
Father!
Oh, my baby! Alexios! Alexios!
Get me to Megaris. Now.
But I don't understand. Of all the places under Ilios, why risk our necks to go there?
The Wolf of Sparta is my father.
Yeah, I don't know how father could ever do that. I can't understand that for even a second. Like, legitimately, I cannot understand that. Oh, it's a little too close to home.
Nothing like a sea breeze.
But I'm wondering if that means that the baby
Feel
was
like it's moving?
I've got
the
perfect
female
opportunity
main character
for
you can
to
play
get your
as.
sea legs.
Oh? What
I'm
would
really
that
hoping
be?
that's the case,
When the
because
Cyclops
then at
was
least I know
giving
that
me
the
a
baby
trouble,
survived.
His pirates took my cargo. I know their ship, and I know where they're heading. What say we get it back?
Sure. It'll be a good opportunity to see how your ship and crew perform.
All right there, let's get moving. Let's see
All
how
right,
the sails are
I
held
think
up.
I'm gonna call it good here. Oh, quest completed. Oh, perfect. Good timing. So. Alright, well. Alright, so I think I'm going to call it now. I finished that quest. I think it's a good time to stop. Hopefully everything turned out well for the stream, and definitely if any of you check out any of this, just give me some feedback. I know that the footage might be a little bit choppy, and if it is, I still have to fiddle around with things. I'm still new to OBS, and I don't know what settings I can change to make it so that everything's a bit smoother, but, you know, if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments. I probably will be streaming again tomorrow. I think, let's see here, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, my wife will be gone. So I'll definitely be home. I can't remember how the scheduling works out. This weekend is a little weird, so but I'll probably at least be streaming Thursday and Friday. Maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. We'll see how things go. So until next time, this has been the Frozen Gamer, and I will talk to you later.